Danny walked past the long, rectangular wooden box that occupied a pedestal table in the room's center. He smiled at it, wondering what the Bedouin was doing.
"Probably ranting in that damned Arabic of his,"
Danny chuckled.
"Last time I let him out when Chris and Mac were here, the Bedouin was fit to be tied. Had to use the iron just to get him back into the box. He's entertaining as all hell."
Danny reached the window, pulled the sash down, and locked it. He turned around, and one of his feet slid partially out of his slipper. Danny stumbled, tripped, and reached out to balance himself, fearful of a fall. His outstretched hand struck the pedestal table and knocked the Bedouin's container to the floor. There was a crack, and the lid of the box sprang open. Danny froze, his mind racing. His right hand dropped to his right thigh, searching for the piece of iron he carried in the pocket of his pants. And he realized he was wearing his pajamas.
"Pants are in the bathroom."
Danny tried to run to the door, but the Bedouin appeared. He was a short man, clad in ragged, off-white clothes. The ghost wore the headdress and garb of a Bedouin, a nomad of the Arabian desert. His face was deeply tanned and scarred. The ghost's mustache was flecked with white, and his weathered hands clenched into fists. He stood between Danny and the door.
"I'll bluff my way past him,"
Danny decided, forcing himself to appear in control of the situation as he straightened his back.
"Get out of the way,"
Danny ordered, jerking a thumb over his shoulder. The ghost snapped at him in Arabic, and Danny rolled his eyes. Trying not to tremble, he squatted and reached for the knife. The Bedouin stepped toward him, and before Danny could reach the weapon, the ghost struck him. The blow was hard and cold, knocking Danny to the floor. His heart raced as he tried to scramble past the dead man. The effort was in vain. With a harsh laugh, the Bedouin took hold of Danny by the hair and dragged him out of the room and into the hallway. Danny tried to strike at the hands, knowing even as he did so that the effort was useless. Danny jerked his head back and tore his hair free, leaving some of it in the dead man's grasp. Scrambling away, Danny crawled toward the bathroom, reaching the tiled floor of the entrance, before the dead man took hold of his ankles and tugged him back. Latching onto the doorframe, Danny gasped in pain, struggling to pull himself into the bathroom. The dead man snarled and spat while Danny continued his efforts. His pants slipped off, and he accidentally launched himself into the bathroom with enough force to strike his head on the cabinet. The blow caused his vision to become hazy as he rolled onto his stomach. With pain thundering in his skull, Danny tried to sit up. As he did so, the Bedouin entered the bathroom, grinning. Danny looked at the old wicker hamper, saw a pants leg hanging out of the mouth, and made a desperate grab for it. The dead man slapped Danny's hand aside and took hold of Danny's head. He opened his mouth to swear at the ghost, but it was already too late. The Bedouin smashed Danny's head into the cabinet and silenced him forever.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.